Alright, I should be live on Twitch now, and this VOD will be viewable in hopefully perpetuity. I'll rescue it, maybe repost it to YouTube if it's worth testing the waters and seeing if that works. This doesn't seem to be online. Nothing is telling me that it's online. What have I done wrong? Nope, it now says I'm online. I had to reload the page. Well, let's see how it sounds. Seems like it sounds fine. Hard to tell coming out of those speakers. But no one's here, so I gotta bring people here. How do I get the link? My channel link. There we go. Let's go ahead and send that around. Okay. I've hit them with the live link on my Discord. And I've now posted it on Blue Sky. So, 0 and 30. Whoa, Twitch Trixie. Indeed. It's a rarity. But I'm also going to go live on YouTube. But you're not going to want to be watching on YouTube because I'm going to vertical stream over there. And it's just going to be me reacting with phone audio, as opposed to you being able to see me and what I'm watching and have good microphone audio, which you'll get here on Twitch. But I figure I'd do both just to advertise. So let me go ahead and launch that one too. I also just think it's really funny conceptually. Okay, so now I'm also live on YouTube. So if you're watching the VOD of this is really, truly a Twitch stream. This is a stream where I have, if you are watching this on Twitch, you can see this gigantic television directly in front of me that you can't see at all on YouTube. There's a gigantic television in front of me where I'll be watching things and reacting to them, especially if I get requests. And so you can see that on Twitch, and you can also see my face dead on as I do those reactions. But I figured I would also stream on YouTube just so that, people would know I was streaming. Because there's not nearly as many people who show up to my Twitch live streams as would tend to show up to a YouTube vertical stream. And I figure people will come and go, what the hell's going on? And I'll go, I'm streaming over on Twitch. I mean, it's kind of right there in the title and the description, but, we do a little hand-holding around here. Pancake Party 1010 says, yay, it's been a minute. Indeed, indeed. What should I watch first while I'm waiting for myself to receive requests? Let's see what the audio situation sounds like. We'll just watch this ad for a whole other stream that I do. So, if you didn't know, Gigadonk, who has completed her apprenticeship with me and is now my just full-on creative partner. The two of us have a show called Slime Dolls that we do together. And we've been playing through Ocarina of Time. Specifically, she's been playing through Ocarina of Time because she's tremendously better at video games than I am. So, I've been watching her play and doing analysis of basically everything I can think of as I watch, mesmerized by my childhood game, one of my favorite games from childhood, really the game that introduced me to storytelling, kind of.
Ocarina of Time is the most nostalgic.
Tell me how this sounds for you and looks for
and
you.
Not just because I played it during my formative childhood years.
Even I played
That's
it
a
as a
bit
kid,
loud.
and I was born after the game was already out.
The game's legend has lived on.
How do I sound compared to how that sounds? Loudness-wise. Am I intelligible talking over myself?
The game is even older than yourself.
Not only is the game's storytelling amazing, but it's fun to play. So much so that I beat it over and over and over again.
Sounds nostalgic, says Lizard. Indeed. I'm gonna be responding to both chats.
Yeah, I could easily stand to watch another new friend take the journey. Oh yeah, Gigadonk. Didn't we start a whole collaborative Let's Play channel together?
Oh my god, we did.
Dolls?
We did indeed create a collaborative Let's Play channel called Slime Dolls.
I can turn the monitor
In
up
fact,
a little.
As soon as we created Slime Dolls, we both looked
It's kind of
each other
loud on
dead
my
in the
end,
face and
but
said,
yeah, I'll do it
we
loud.
have to do Ocarina of Time, on account of the fact that we both grew up with it and love it to pieces.
Not to mention, you're actually good at video games. People will be able to enjoy watching someone with a real mastery of the game showing off its greatness.
And you can help me flesh out the many, many little analytical thoughts I've had pouring out of my brain towards this game for decades.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Wow.
Let's say that we launch our playthrough live on Friday night at
Wait,
7:30
that already happened.
EST.
I don't need. Okay.
Live on Friday night at
I've got so many different computers I'm using at the same time. It gets confusing to figure out which mouse goes to which computer. Yeah, obviously we already debuted this on August 15th, and we've already done 3 episodes, and pretty much probably going to conclude with the 4th one. Chrono is really fast at this game. All that's left is the Spirit Temple and the Ganon's Castle, and then the game's over. So, like, I think we're probably going to do Majora's Mask next. I'm a little softer, but I can hear you. It'll definitely be different on the YouTube end than the Twitch end, because YouTube is just going through the phone's built-in microphone, which is a bit closer to the television. Wait, let's see if I can move it further forward. Like, you know, if you're on Twitch, the microphone is facing me, whereas the TV has to reach around the microphone to get to you. But on the YouTube end, I think the microphone's actually like maybe on the bottom of the phone, so it might be even slightly pointed towards the TV just because of the angle I've got the camera at to capture more of myself. This is really funny though, streaming on both platforms at once. It really is a great LP combining Chrono's expertise with all the great thought dumps. I think you should 100% Ocarina of Time. I don't think we're going to 100% it on stream just because I don't think Chrono's interested in that, but I might do that in my own time, especially if I end up like deciding I'm going to do more writing about the game. Cuz I do feel like lately I've been thinking about there's certain works of art that are like small enough that I feel like I could do like a pretty cohesive, like, here's all the thoughts I have about it and I'm done with it, you know, like I probably never have to talk about it again. But you would have to have you'd really have to have experienced it on that thorough of a level, which to me is only possible after like a certain amount of time has passed even. Like, I don't think I could really even communicate what is so special about this game without having it been in my life for 25 years already. I don't know what like another 25 years would significantly add that would make me be like, okay, I gotta talk about Ocarina again, you know. I feel like it maybe has been long enough that I could say as much as I will ever have to say about it. But definitely not just in the course of the Let's Play by itself, you know, like, that's been pretty much coming up with stuff on the spot because I'm re-experiencing the game for the first time in a while. And Krona is too. She just has experienced it tremendously more times than I have overall, you know. So for me, there's still, I think, more nostalgia in that I haven't like run the game completely into the ground for myself. And so like, it's exciting watching someone play it so well that it like, that like my brain has to kind of keep up, like try to keep up with what's happening. You know, like I have to remind myself, oh yeah, there's this thing here too. You know, like there's lots of stuff I just forgot was in the game, or didn't even know. Like I'm pretty sure I don't remember ever talking to that one dying soldier who gives you like the demon souls, or I guess it would be Dark Souls. Yeah, the Dark Souls like flask speech. Anyways, what should I watch? I gotta figure out something I should watch next. If you're not on the Twitch stream, you can't see what I'm watching. If you're on YouTube, you just see me ranting into the camera. But over on Twitch, there's actually a whole screen. Oh my god, first time chat from Gigadonk McFronk. Is that still your only Twitch account? I didn't realize it was your the full Gigadonk McFronk on Twitch. Meowdy Matty fellow gamers, what are we talking about? I was just promoting Slime Dolls real quick as I try to come up with what else I'm gonna watch on this unique setup I've got going here, where I stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time. And more people are on the YouTube stream where they cannot see what I'm looking at than on the Twitch stream, and that's fine, because it's funny to me. Alright, I guess I'll go to... I have Netflix here. You can go watch Netflix. What's on here? You got K-pop Demon Hunters. You got The Wild Robot. What's in the... What anime do they have?
So what's it like being back? Are you some of the...
I don't want to hear about that. They got Free Ren. Should we watch Free Ren? Nobody's gonna want to make any requests to make me stop watching Free Ren if I put on Free Ren. What the fuck is Togen Anki? Togen Anki? Never heard of it. They got The Summer Hikaru Died. I've like almost caught up on this manga. Or like I was caught up like a month ago rather. I only saw the first episode of the anime. It's a lot of bing bong. Gigadonk says, wow, Slime Doll sounds like the coolest show ever that everyone should be sub to right now. I agree. C-Cypher says, I'm here because I can read, and has some badass sunglasses on while being a cat, which is a pretty cool state to be in. Fox Skip says, the anime is so good. I assume you're talking about this one. K-pop Demon Hunters is really good. I was told the same thing by Bird. He watched it the other day. And I was like, oh, I was curious about that. Is it good? And he was like, yes. So I was like, damn. I guess I gotta watch it. I don't know if I want to I don't want to put on something that nobody would want to make a request to get me to stop watching. Even though this show is good, I just started from episode 2 and nobody has any idea what the fuck's going on because I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to see how much anime I can play on Twitch. Ooh. Also, will this song get my YouTube stream pulled? Like, you can't see it. You can hear it pretty clearly, probably. Ooh. Oh, this song rules. What the fuck? I don't remember this being in the first episode. This is awesome. This is like the dopest anime OP I've heard in a while. Who the fuck is this band? It sounds like an old band, just in the sense that the singer sounds old. Vondi? Is that the band name? Yeah, this shit gets down. It's funny, you know, growing up I really hated that heavy 80s synth backbeat, like snare drum. Like, bah, bah. Like, basically any song that had that I could not stand when I was young. At some point I got used to it. Hello, Aggie Dine. Bird is indeed a man of culture. Right now he is also a man of sleep. Giga Donk said, this is the kind of store a manga store would have playing over the speakers on loop till I hate it. This is the kind of song that I would walk into the manga store and at first they'd be playing like some fucking Clannad opening or something. I'd be like, whatever. And then that song would come on. I'd be like, oh shit. And I'd just be dancing in the fucking store like, ah, they're playing the Hikaru theme. Gary always says, who wants to chip in for the Amazing Digital Circus episode 5? I've heard, is it really only 5? We're on like 6, surely, right? Whatever, I heard the new one is really good. We've surely watched 5 episodes of Circus, right? You had the first one, the desert one, the fast food one, the one with the king guy just like in a basement, the one from last week that I didn't like at all. So it must be 6. I'm pretty sure we saw 5 and I really didn't like it. The one where they hang out in the bar. Cause like the fast food one was the highlight of the series so far, where I kind of enjoyed that episode, and then the one after that I remember being like, oh, this is not interesting to me almost at all. I remember there being like maybe 2 lines that I really liked in that one. Nausicaa Lover said, I paid for a request on the itch site. Is it fine if I make it? Yeah, go ahead. I'll go look at that. I forgot about the itch. Yep, I see a 450 sale. Law 240 says some higher dimensional beings falls in love with the boy. It's like E.T. It is a lot like E.T. actually. It's even like weirdly cute. Like having read most of the manga, I think this story is more wholesome than horror. Like it takes a while for you to really be sure, but there's a point where you're just like, all right, I feel like more wholesome shit than scary shit has happened at this point. So I would overall call this like a kind of cozy, wholesome story that just happens to have like a really spooky theming to it, you know? And in that way, it is very Spielbergian. Gigadonk said, went to a manga store in Manhattan and they played the Chainsaw Man OP like 5 times. That's nauseating. Nausicaa Lover says, I paid for a request. Oh, I already read that. C-Cypher says 3 was Kinger Ep, 4 was Fast Food, 5 was the filler Ep, and yeah, we're on to 6. Yeah, filler Ep. So oh yeah, it had the anime scene. Yeah, that was boring. Nausicaa Lover said, my request is the music video for Kybalion, the Killa Priest song. Okay. C-Cypher says, I mean, I personally did not hate episode 5, but I understand why people would. Yeah, I just remember not getting like anything out of it. Alright, we're going to put a pause on Hikaru, which is a very interesting vibes thing to just have on in the background. I don't think the anime is as consistently, like, visually interesting as the manga. Like, the first episode I remember had, like, I was pretty engrossed by the visuals. the manga just does really interesting stuff with paneling. Like, if you really love unique manga paneling, and especially, like, emotionally driven manga paneling, I would highly recommend reading the manga. I'm sure that they will probably do interesting stuff to capture, like, the most interesting moments in the anime. But, like, it's really... It's one of those manga with the paneling, you know, one of those that, like, you would, if you were going to teach somebody about, like, how aesthetic paneling could be used in manga, like, that would be one to study, you know. Why no like episode 5? I really don't remember. Like, I don't remember what exactly my issue with it was. Everybody's told me that episode 6 is really good, though. I, like, have heard, like, who was it? Was it just Z-Cypher saying this? Like, somebody was telling me that it was, like, the best episode yet. I saw multiple people in the server saying things like that. But, I have deliberately not watched it on my own, thinking that I will probably be requested to buy it at some point. Chat pause due to scroll. Does that mean that it, like, stops you from actually chatting when I scroll up? Or is it just doing that for me? I think it just means for me. Gigadonk said, request by sending money over Cash App or Venmo or Itch.io and include your request either in this chat or in the memo of your payment. That is good instructions. Yeah, let's watch that request we got, right? Let's see. It was Kaibalion. This is not the Kaibalion by 3 Initiates from 1906, although I wouldn't be surprised if it has something to do with that. Because if this isn't a heavy metal thing, I don't know what it could possibly be. From Vedic Vape Room. Oh, never mind, it's hip-hop. I was definitely expecting a metal song by that title. Alright, let's see what happens here. The tarot card shows Patar face. The god is fake, while I cigar taste. Priest, I'm camouflaged within the grates. I channel into stars, then disperse around space. Send candles in the mosque, to the verses I create. Each bar becomes a god, past times, different place. While y'all on Instagram, a microdose with a 1/10 of a gram. Hold the fuck on. Can I get this with... Yeah, y'all need to be able to read these lyrics. I don't know if they're going to be visible to you. I'm going to run this back. This is really good. I hope you can read that somehow. On Twitch, at least. Behind the Vedic veils, Sarah Bartlett, Venus and Holophels, victory visits Valor Vest through Vortex, Stargate, the tarot. No. Victory visits Valor Vest through Vortex, not for Lord Vast through Vortex. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think these closed captions are understanding it. I think he said Valor Vest through Vortex. I'm camouflaged within the grates. I channel into stars, then disperse around space. Send candles in the mosque, then the verses I create. Each bar becomes a god, past times, different place. Each bar becomes a god. With a 1/10 of a gram. The mics I broke with the strength of a ram. Took my rights, Jim Crow said I'm only 1/5 of a man. Now I can see the whole god that I am. I consume the whole mushroom. I consume the whole mushroom. My temples are raised higher, explain firmly. Hermes, Trismegistus, and lyrics that specialize in the pyramids and physics. It's mesmerizing for human ears to hear this. Yeah. My nebula guidance, soon you feel this weirdness. Your blood pressure rises, you get cold as the fear grips your soul. The sheer bliss you go, spirit from bones. This way into the day. It's really fucking good. May make you want to take shrooms. Be free in nature, carry your nostrils, take fumes. The gospel as you face doom. I
laying tools and ski on vapor. Think of volume, 528 hertz to volume. My verse is like the universe is falling.
My verse is like the universe is falling.
The whole earth, every room, every coffin. The hermetic hookah lounge. I'm in the back, I'm not used to crowds. Sudden movements in groups too loud. I just lounge in my suit and crown.
Feel
Cigars in the car, red shoes on the towels. Wild style when I blow a cloud. Women get aroused as their attention swim around. It's written down. Pen is swung like a pendulum. My writing is psilocybin mycelium.
My writing is psilocybin mycelium, bicentennial bodies and drums to next millennium reptilian. What?
Carved this demigod. Called the priest cause he knew I came from the infinite divinity squad. Beirut, Nimrod. Firestones engraved to the Templar. Priest, I rise upon the throne where sages grew. Avenger.
God damn. That was fucking amazing. Like, I've been thinking a lot lately about how there's a lot of rappers that like I look up to for just generally like being better at rap than I am, and so I'm like, oh, I gotta learn from this person. But not a lot of them rap about the type of shit that I do. That actually does. So I was like, oh my god, this person's actually doing my thing better. That's like so rare for me to see. So I got really excited. I was like, oh shit, this is like, you know, this is like some, like a better version of some shit I would say, which is exciting. I've never heard of Killer Priest at all. Subscribed. Okay, I thoroughly enjoyed that, so thank you. I will look into more. Alright, let's see what's happening down in Chatland. I need to move this camera up a little. Can't see the top of my head. It's driving me crazy. Hello, Nisa. I'm illiterate, but the text is clearly visible. Yeah, Nazca Lover, that was dope. That's like the kind of song that I heard and I was like, I kind of want to listen to this until I have memorized the lyrics. Like, this is the kind of shit I would like to just have lodged in my brain, you know? If I'm gonna have like rap songs that are just always stuck in my mind, I'd prefer them to be about like themes I personally find interesting and stuff. Also, just like some of the stuff he said is like, I was surprised I haven't heard. Like he said, I swallow the whole psilocybin or something like that, or I consume the whole mushroom was what he said. I consumed the whole mushroom. I was like, how is that not a bar I've already heard? My request is going to be Buchi Guri. I'm grabbing my phone. I have no idea what that is, but I guess we'll find out. Killer Priest is a Wu-Tang affiliate? That makes sense. Nothing is like scarier to me than finding out about another god tier rapper and just being like, alright, I've got to just like deep dive another discography, learn a whole bunch of new lessons. Re-advise the ranking in my brain of who's really good. I don't know if Kiki is streaming yet. I guess I could find out. Oh no, she's not. But I think she's going to be streaming tonight, so whenever I finish, I might raid her stream if it lets me do that. I think she's going to be doing Flo Millie's discography. If not tonight, then tomorrow night. But basically, she listens to discographies of different rappers based on a lottery system and audience voting. And the audience, like, ranks the rappers, like, tier lists them. And it's pretty entertaining because they're pretty brutal about it. I think the only S tiers have been Queen Latifah and Rhapsody. And then, like, I think JPEG Mafia was C tier, which was pretty funny. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to argue with that at all. You know, I think Rico Nasty is a better rapper, and we put her in B tier, and I'm like, yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm okay with it. Rico's Easy A, though. Compared to the people who are in A tier in the list, I don't know. Like, she's in B tier, but she's in B tier next to Missy Elliott and DMX on that particular chart, or after Missy Elliott and DMX on that chart. I'm trying to remember who's in A tier. She doesn't, like, publicize the list super often. It's usually just at the end of the streams when they're ranking someone. But like I said, the only S tiers, I believe, are Rhapsody and Queen Latifah. Trying to remember who the fuck is in the A tier that's actually been played. The way that shirt was just like going all the way up like that. Check my Cash App. Shit, I just realized I'm streaming off of the same phone I would check my Cash App off of. I guess I could probably check it on my computer, because I can log in. I know I have it linked on my link tree. So it has a website of some kind. Get the app. Well, maybe not. Scan to pay. Yeah, okay. Just tell me what it is. I trust you. I don't expect you not to have sent me the amount that it costs. For the Taco Bell saga? Oh boy, alright. Hell yeah. Good, good. I needed an excuse to fuck up my YouTube algorithm with these shorts. YouTube, the way YouTube promotes shorts doesn't make any fucking sense, as we've been learning. Like, I bet if I click on shorts, it'll just give me one of them, right? Yep, I fucking knew it. I knew that would happen. Hold on. Which one is it, though? Like, it doesn't even have the fucking title on screen. What is the name of this? 4 out of 8. Okay. So, I just clicked on shorts, and Taco Bell Saga 4 out of 8. If I click next video, it's a Tyler, the Creator clip. So, how do I continue the Taco Bell saga, like, sensically? YouTube, what the fuck? It's got numbers in it. Your AI can't figure out that the fucking numbers go in a row? Okay, hold on. Just go to the channel. And we'll do them in a row. As God intended. It's an ARG, says Petrichor VT. Alright. Gary also paid for the episode 6 trailer of Amazing Digital Circus. Shout out Nino in chat, says Wagwan Tricks. I'm on Twitch and YouTube at the same time right now, Nino. I'm doing the next level shit. I'm on one computer to watch requests, one computer to stream on Twitch, and on my phone to stream on YouTube to advertise the fact that I'm streaming on Twitch. This is what YouTubing is now.
Listen up, you fuck. I'm going to Taco Bell and you can't fucking stop me. There's not a goddamn thing you can do in this world to stop me. I'm going to Taco Bell, and if you try to stop me, I'm going to rip out your lips. Bitch.
By the way, Corona, since you graduated from being my apprentice, I'm now just crediting you as my creative partner. I just realized my fucking audio is kind of low on Twitch. Turn my fucking microphone up there quite a bit. Okay. This is my creative partner's Taco Bell saga.
You thought it was a meme. You thought it was a bit of a goof, a bit of a guffaw. But I am actually fucking driving to Taco Bell right now. There's not a goddamn thing in this world that you can do about it. I laugh at you, and I laugh at your mother, and I laugh at your mother's mother, and I laugh at your mother's 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 grave. You
Please
piece
do.
of shit.
She deserves it.
I'm about to pull into the drive-thru now. You can't stop me, bitch. You can't do shit about it. I'm about to go through the drive-thru. I'm about to pull into the drive-thru now.
That fucking deep inhale at the end. Alright, here's the one I was actually pushed by YouTube. I guess because it's got the most brightness, probably the brightness.
And the drive-thru called me Corona.
Or maybe it's because it's so short that you inevitably watch it more than once. Maybe that's why.
Don't tell the cops. Don't tell the fucking cops.
Don't tell the fucking cops I just got Taco Bell.
Don't tell the cops. Don't tell the fucking cops. I just got.
Oh my god. That's my favorite one so far.
Well, I'm not paralyzed, but I seem to be struck by you. I want to make you move because you set me still. Your body,
Me on my way to Taco Bell!
well, I'm not paralyzed.
So fucking insidious and evil. Dastardly. Devious. Disturbed. Disgusting. Deplorable. Deranged. Doo-doo. Depression. Deep pain. How does this end? How else could it possibly end? Oh my goodness. There we go. The fucking Taco Bell saga, everybody. My god. Gigadonk99 on YouTube. If you're not already subscribed, you've got brain worms and they're eating your brain and you're dying. And the only thing that's going to fix that is if you subscribe to Gigadonk. Or you could just let the fucking brain worms eat your fucking brain, I guess. Alright. We gotta watch the Digital Circus episode 6 trailer. She's got a
On
gun.
the next episode of the amazing Digital Circus, everyone gets guns.
Yeah!
All there is to it.
I like guns. That sounds promising.
Century. Three teams face off in a non-stop action-filled hootenanny that you won't want to miss.
been waiting for this my whole life.
Are they gonna shoot the
I think
guns?
this is a good idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is really what we need right now.
I see some. Okay. I was gonna say I see some holding guns.
Longest episode yet. Over 33 minutes? Holy moly, you couldn't cut that
It's a lot of
down
gun
at all?
time.
Making shows is really hard.
You couldn't cut that down at all.
Who is that?
Who am I? Well, I'm Mr. Gunn.
Not you, Mr. Gunn, the other voice.
Mr. Who?
I was supposed to be in this episode, but
Okay,
Taylor
I see
heard me
more
for being
firing
too
of guns.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Are we just all in this trailer?
And I'm still here too, the episode 3 trailer narrator.
Why do these trailers have their own continuity?
So what are you waiting for? Buy your tickets today and come down to the biggest event in digital circus history.
Tickets not reached now. You can watch the latest episode and all previous episodes of the Amazing Digital Circus anytime at home or on the go on your computer device. If you have any further questions or concerns, dial 888. Enter your permission for going out.
Be there or be rare.
So here's my curiosity.
I wish
Oh,
guns were
well,
real.
yeah, me too. My curiosity is, out of those 33 minutes they have there, that's 11 different 3 minutes. How many of those 3 minutes are guns being fired? Like, what is the percentage of gun fire happening as opposed to just gun wielding? So we're trying to live up to Fooly Cooley episode 5. When I think of an episode about guns, that's what your standard is. And granted, they're only really firing BBs for most of that episode. But there is a lot of gunfire. They fire a lot of fucking guns in episode 5 of Fooly Cooley. And it's pretty much the best episode of anything ever. So good that it was even somehow better with the fan reanimated version. What's my favorite energy drink? I like the NOS. What is it? NOS? Nose? Whatever. The nitro. The one that's the fucking blue and orange one that tastes like orange flavor. Kind of. Citrusy. Yeah, I like that one. There's also a purple one that's okay, but it's not quite as good. That's probably my favorite. And then maybe like the pink Monster. Monster Zero, I mean. The pink Monster Zero. Alright, back to the other chat. Oh yeah, I think the next Gigadonk video has to showcase my graduation, and that could be the season 2 finale. Sure, yeah, we can do that. It wouldn't be a graduation, right? You become like an apprenticeship ends with a certification. Like I could give you like a certificate, like you could be a certified YouTuber. Like I will. First of all, we're creating the YouTubers union. Between the two of us, we are now a union. So the YouTubers union will give you a certification to certify you as a YouTuber. I'll look into how this works. We will become certified YouTubers. It needs to happen. YouTube needs unions and certifications. We need something. We need something to keep the fucking robots out. Yeah, there has to be like some kind of human test to get into the fucking YouTuber union. And eventually we will have healthcare benefits or some shit. I don't know. One where I'm singing, of course, got the most views. Lamau. That makes sense. I think YouTube is inevitably going to promote certain stuff just based on what the content of it is, like, as identified by its AI. I did enjoy your taco brainworms. Twitch title says $1.50 an hour. Whoops. Hold on. I forgot that Twitch also has a title because it's very weird the way that like Twitch only shows you the title and lets you edit it on the actual like view page. It's well, I mean, I'm in the I'm on the view page. I'm not even in the dashboard. So like when you're in the streaming dashboard, there's no obvious way to like change the title of the stream, whereas it's very easy to do on the actual stream page. It's weird. I wouldn't think that I would want to be on the stream page as opposed to the dashboard, especially to edit things. Just doesn't make sense. I became your apprentice while you were under the guise of Trixie the Golden Witch. As I see it, I am a certified witch. Okay. Okay, I see. So it's not that you're a certified YouTuber as much as that you are a certified witch. And that makes sense. YouTube as a platform will not last as long as our witchcraft will. So, yeah, that's probably fair. But I do want some kind of unionization for online video creators. Because we basically just get walked on. Like, these companies just, like, we really do have to totally, like, just, it's like dealing with living in a dictatorship, dealing with YouTube. Like, the rules are essentially random. It's like, it is whatever they want it to be, and they can change them anytime. So, Petrichor, what were you talking about being 6 minutes? A Bad Eaters here. Really hate my dad. Oh, hell yeah, stream. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Because, I'm showing what I'm, like, watching on Twitch and then advertising it on YouTube at the same time. Just to be extra, extra, extra. Yes, about how many minutes of the 33 we're shooting. Okay. So you're answering that question. 6 minutes is not terrible. It is only 2/11ths. And therefore, like, not even quite 1/5 of the episode. But 6 minutes of raw shooting does sound kind of enticing. That's at best. I mean, I was honestly expecting to hear 3 minutes, and I would have been like, that's terrible. Only 3 minutes of gunfire in a 33-minute episode would be awful. Can you watch Things Will Get Much Worse? Cameron paid me. Okay. Let's see what that is. It was all caps. Things will get much worse. Oh, I'm guessing it's this Hatsune Miku song. I saw it as a notification that came on my screen. Yeah, okay. It looks like I can look at my notifications without crashing the YouTube stream, so that's good. I was really worried I wouldn't be able to actually do that. Okay. It's Willie Smiths. Is this AI? I hate that I have to constantly ask. Ooh. Okay. Okay, it's a commentary on AI. Hey, that was fucking Popey the performer. I like it. Does it help more to watch on Twitch? I don't know. It doesn't really help either way. I live in a doomed world. Ooh, I like the hard stop. What the fuck? Well, where did this come from?
keeps improving.
Okay.
Society gon' change. We're witnessing the birth of stuff that won't get tired, won't complain. We're shrinking expenses and growing profits for the rich.
I wasn't sure about the second vocalist until this got just heated. This is a fantastic fucking video and song. By no means what I was expecting from a Hatsune Miku feature. But exactly what I would want more than anything from a Hatsune Miku feature, if I'm being honest. Perfect use of everything, really. That was fucking great. When did this come out? A year ago? Let that play out. Yeah, that was fucking fantastic. Competitive with an amazing year of music that was 2024. And would be as well if it had come out this year, which is also fantastic. But it's more in line with stuff I've been listening to this year, which might be why I didn't hear about it last year. Because I've gotten much more into, like, dance hop in particular. Like, I mean, I guess I always like hip-hop that's on a dance beat. But, like, that's just been my main focus. And the fact that, like, Tyler put out a whole album like that this year helps a lot, too. But just, yeah, that was danceable, lyrical, prescient, interesting, had a great video. Everything about that was like, yeah, peak is a good word for it, Gary. I might have to put that in the peak only playlist, actually. Especially if this is, like, independent. Who the fuck owns this shit? Exociety. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this is even... Like, this is not even owned by a major label or some shit. So, that's going in my fucking peak only playlist for sure. And it's stuck in my fucking head now. Nisa said, oh, I recommended the song to Tanya the other day. I totally missed that. I just fucked up my camera angle. There we go. Okay. The fan in my Nintendo Switch whirring loud as fuck. Damn. What's cool about Amazing Digital Circus Episode 6, They All Get Guns, is that unlike Outlet mech shows, it's about the characters, not the guns. Are there really are there really a lot of mech shows that are about the mechs and not the characters? He said other, not Outlet. Still, though, I can't think of a lot of mecha that aren't, like, mostly about the characters and the mecha are just there to be cool. Other than, like, Super Robot Wars. I don't think any mecha shows are so... Why the mechs? Because they're awesome. That's why. They're just there because they are... The same reason that there are girls in anime. They're cool. You want to look at them. I think anime is generally like a very dysmorphic media. Like the fact that you don't want to look at real people means that there is something about real people is off-putting to you. In terms of like what it makes you feel. So you end up looking at conceptual people instead. And when you get into that habit, I think it is almost always because there's like something there that is more appealing than reality, you know? Either that you can get lost in a cute, fluffy girl world, or a hypersexual harem world, or a, you know, militaristic, but you are a badass. Like, the setting is military, but you yourself being in a mecha are, like, you know, protected in a way. You think Ellen poisoned the well on Amazing Digital Circus with her negativity? I didn't even think she disliked it that much. I don't know. I personally am not that into it. Like, I just think it's very slow, and, like, most of what it says doesn't hit me because it's too general. Like, to me, it is... I fundamentally think it is a, like, young adult show, and by that I don't mean it's like for like that only young adults could enjoy it, but like it's themed around like coming of age themes in this very kind of general way that like it wants to, I guess a better way of putting it is that it's for everyone. Like it's like made to be that you could project your own life onto it no matter who you are, basically. Like, it tries not to tell you anything too specific that wouldn't be relatable to almost everybody who's going to watch the show. And that's fine, but it just doesn't hit very hard for me, where, like, I think in the same, like, I guess I look at it the same way I look at Linkin Park, as something that I can listen to now, and the lyrics still mean a lot to me in the sense that I can project onto them just as easily now as I could when I was young. And in fact, a lot of them I feel like I have a more robust ability to project onto them because I have more complicated emotions that like that are reflected in those lyrics. But like, I wouldn't even have a taste for those songs or care about those lyrics if I didn't just grow up with them. You know, like if it wasn't just something that had already hit me in an emotional way, because I didn't have like a specific life experience that was close enough to anything very specific in media. I could only really be reached by something super broad, you know, something that speaks on such general emotions that everybody would have something that feels like that, you know. Gary says it's about very specific types of trauma and interpersonal relationships. But with 6 characters, there's something for everyone. But it's not general, but if you don't connect with it, the nuance is easy to miss. I just think that when you say specific, I mean, you could say specific types of trauma, but there's only so many types of trauma, and almost everybody has at least a couple of them. Like, I think that it's hard for me to imagine someone watching this show and coming away with, like, no idea what it's supposed to be saying, you know? Like, it's likable to a fault is what I'm trying to say, almost. Like, it's hard to imagine watching it and being like, oh, I don't get it. But it's easy to watch it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, obviously I feel that way. But I can also name, like, other stories that really connect with me, that really say something about my experiences, that are really personal and particular. And so, you know, Digital Circus just feels like it's very pale in comparison to something that actually hits, you know. For example, like Gigadonk tonight for the first time saw Perfect Blue. That's a movie that hits. I'm not expecting Amazing Digital Circus to be Perfect Blue, but like, I've seen that, you know, like I've seen something that actually like strikes me at my core and gets me thinking for like decades, and like Amazing Digital Circus is just not going to have that effect on me. It's going to slide right off my brain. Other than that, it has memorable aesthetics and like, you know, cool character designs, and that it was a zeitgeist moment culturally. But to me, it's kind of like the same thing as like looking at Five Nights at Freddy's from a distance, or looking at what's another good example? Even like a Deltarune, like, or even before that, fucking Undertale. Like, these things that I didn't really connect with that strongly, but I saw why people did, and I'm like, I want to be in, like, I want to understand the zeitgeist. So I think it's important to have seen Amazing Digital Circus if you want to understand young people coming up right now. Like, you should expect that it's a show that young people will have seen, you know, and like that's something that you will have to know about to like really understand what those people are coming up with. The same way that millennials connect over Courage the Cowardly Dog. Like, I put it right in the same lane as Courage the Cowardly Dog. I don't think it's anywhere near as good, but it's right in that exact same lane. that it's relatively new is like, how the fuck did they make it sound that way? That's fucking awesome. Trauma Dump albums are the best albums, but especially when they're like really high concept, but still like enjoyable to listen to. Like, even though that was like somewhat tough, it wasn't like the new Billy Woods album, Gollywog, which I really love, is like a similar flavor to that, but is more like deliberately kind of like grating and hard to listen to. Whereas this was like right on the edge, where it was like still kind of funky and like, you know, head knocking, but you're just thinking like, damn. It's much more in the Kendrick Lamar lane in my, like, it reminded me of Mad City with the Crash Out bit, but it was more of like, it was like even more like realistic and like unnerving story than that, you know, because it was like, yeah, this just like obviously happened, so it's fucked. It hits hard. That was great. Yo, how are you, Trixie? I'm doing good. Streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. Do I still hate ReZero and Steins Gate Zero? Yeah, of course. But I mean, I haven't rewatched them since talking about them, so I don't think about them, except for when people leave comments that I think are really funny. Edward Manley said, what would you consider the current narrative of your online career to be at the moment? Been a fan for a long time, was wondering if there's a current journey you and us as contributing fans are a part of. It's kind of hard for me to articulate, but wanted to know where things are at the moment. Much love. Where I'm at right now is really just trying to figure out how to consistently make money on YouTube. Like, every time I try to come up with some kind of gimmick that, like, is repeatable, like something that I can continually do, I will often make like just enough money to survive, but not really enough to do anything or to expand. And like as time goes on, my technology just keeps getting more dated, you know, I keep getting older, and so it gets harder to do things without having that, like, you know, without having like an amount of success that would allow me to put it back into the career. And so like it just feels like I'm constantly fighting just to keep the thing alive, you know, to just be able to do it, to be able to afford to do it. And so I'm always like making little shifts and changing gears and trying to find a lane that works. And a big part of what keeps me going is just that there are people that enjoy my content, and especially creative people who are inspired by me and also who collaborate with me, who like are inspired to do things with me because it's fun. You know, so like making videos with Gigadonk, and especially doing our show, The Slime Dolls, having Nisa do the illustrations for that, you know, her art, like seeing the art in itself makes the show fun to do, you know, like making music with Sarah Louise and with Really Hate My Dad, you know, making music with anybody really out. I have lots of friends who are creative and who we do things together that usually don't make any of us any money. But the fact that I do a creative career gives me the space to work with those people, you know, and it gives both, like working together gives both of us the energy to take back into our individual projects and really give that our all too. So like, you know, I feel like I get the most out of doing collaborations, but I'm always in this struggle to figure out like, well, what's the main thing I do? Like, what's the thing that actually brings in the money, you know? So like right now I've got memberships as like my biggest focus, where I've been doing these members only videos that are usually just kind of life advice. And it's a lot of stuff that I used to just put out for free, but I get ripped off. Like people will just take the stuff I'm saying and then they'll repackage it in a form where they're monetizing it way more heavily than I am. And so it's like, well, I'm just basically giving, like leaving money on the table and giving up good ideas. So that's why I was like, if people really value the shit I'm saying, just fucking pay me to hear it, you know, because I can't afford to keep giving it away for free. And that's where the main thing I've been sort of focused on is getting them memberships, getting the people who are still watching the channel to, you know, pay to keep watching the channel, basically, so that it can keep going. Gary always says, my working theory about local script man is that living in LA ruined him the way only LA can. Yeah, that's what I think too. And I have a suspicion he started doing Blow. Everybody in LA is doing Blow, so yeah, that tracks. He seems to be both doing a bit, but also genuinely frustrated. I mean, it's really hard to tell, like, where the lines are. Like, that fucking AI video was the most Poe's Law shit I've seen in a while, where I was like, I really can't tell. Is Tier List Thursdays dead? No, and the reason it's not is because I found them, and I had lost. So, I have a really disorganized desktop, and I oftentimes will just throw things onto a external drive. So, I had thought... I found, like, part 5 of the gaming tier lists on my desktop, but part 4 wasn't there. And also, none of the other ones I had recorded were there. So I was like, did I just throw these away? Like, what the fuck happened? I thought I had accidentally tossed them all. And episode 5 specifically has, like, this obnoxious, part 5, rather, of the gaming one, has, like, this obnoxious noise that my computer was making that I couldn't get to stop at the time. Luckily, it stopped on its own by the time I recorded the next one, and I just, like, left the computer off all day, I guess, in between that. So, I was, like, really, like, I don't want to release part 5, and it sounds like shit, and it skipped part 4. But I found the rest of them on an external hard drive. So now I can release those and also, you know, continue, make another batch. I really was, like, sad. I really thought I had lost them completely. But no. They will be back, although part 5 of the gaming one is still annoying. I'll probably just release parts 4 and 5 at once and also, like, effective immediately. like not on a Thursday, but just tomorrow. Because I don't have another thing scheduled. I have a bunch of members-only videos recorded that I have not edited yet. Some of them I have to, like, make sure they're still relevant. But, yeah, I like, will literally record them and forget about them. Because I'll record them early in the day. Like, it tends to be, like, I get up with Bird to help him go to work. Like, get dressed and ready for work. He leaves, and then I kind of hang out for a while. And, like, listen to music, watch the sunrise. And around that time, I will end up having some kind of deep thought that leads me straight into recording a vlog. And then I record the vlog for, like, half an hour, and then I pass the fuck out and completely forget that I did that. And wake up, like, 3 hours later and do something totally different. Sometimes I remember, and I get up and I go edit that vlog that I recorded. But a lot of the time, I just straight up forget. And, and then I'm, like, days later, like, oh, fuck, I totally forgot. Like, I think I even mentioned this in the stream with Krona and then forgot about it again. But I recorded one the other day about, oh, fuck, it's about, like, how young people don't even know this one, like, reference. Basically, me, like, realizing the frame of reference change that's happening as, you know, like, as the new generation comes of age. And, like, there's certain stuff from the 90s that is, like, just so preposterously old that it, like, would just not even enter the mind of someone younger unless they heard it from someone like me, you know. Fuck, there was, like, a very specific reference that I lean in on and explain at, like, great length. And it's slipping my mind. I have to pee. Maybe I'll figure it out while I go to the bathroom. I'm going to put something on while I go pee. I don't want to play Chance the Rapper, and I don't want to play more of this album while I'm not here. I was watching this Origins of Soul Calibur video on my phone before I started the stream, so let's click on that. You know, this was actually a pretty good video.
With it, she returned to her family and became a soldier for the Ming Empire.
Hold on, we'll scroll back to the start of this segment.
So let's begin by introducing all the newcomers. And to do that, we've got to go back to the Ling Shen Su Temple. Before the events of the first game, this place was home to two exceptionally strong warriors, Chai Shanfei and Kang Jiuqiao. The former comes from a family that takes immense pride in its strength. She studied the art of the sword within the temple, and was so good, she should have inherited the Krita Yuga. However, she was a woman, and once again, this is the 16th century. The temple is where she met Xiu Qiao, who at the time was in the running to be the successor of the Kali Yuga. However, that got ruined when the two fell in love, which is forbidden. Worse yet, they had a whole child, which is even more forbidden. Her name was Jiang Len. Once the monks found out, they drove the two apart and took their kid. Poor Xiang Fei couldn't deal with that, so in 1569 she left while she was pregnant with their second kid. Then Xu Qiang did something that may seem wild now, but low-key saves the world later. He stole Krita Yuga and secretly gave it to Xiang Fei as a proof of his love. With it, she returned to her family and became a soldier for the Ming Empire. Eventually, she gave birth to her second daughter, whom she named Xianghua. Like her mother, she'd become a goddamn legend with the sword. But sadly, her mom passed when she was still young. She left her the Krita Yuga and told her to use the sword to carve out her own destiny. And just in case you guys didn't make the connection already, since Soul Calibur came from Soul Edge, it also has the ability to read its user's soul and then morph into the weapon that best suits them. So as Xianghua is carrying it, nobody even realizes it's the spirit sword. As for Xu Qiang, the temple traced the disappearance of Krita Yuga back to him, so they kicked him out. Before Xiang Fei died, he tried to reunite with her and their daughter. However, her family told him that she assumed he was still training hard at the temple. If she saw him like this, she'd just be disappointed. So he left. Back at the temple, Xiang Len was being raised with an orphan child whom the monks had adopted, named Keelik. She was like an older sister to him. Over the years spent here, she mastered the sword, while Keelik mastered the rod. He grew to be a kind and compassionate expert in his craft, and eventually became the successor of the Kali Yuga. Xiang Len became the successor of the Dvapara Yuga. Confused, Keelik asked her why she didn't get the Krita Yuga. So she told him how her father stole the sword over 10 years ago. She discovered this when she was young, but learned that the temple had kept the theft a secret to maintain morale. Before they're able to discuss things more though, the evil seed catastrophe happens. The two sense the wave of evil energy coming their way and grab their artifacts in preparation. But this does nothing. Everyone but Xiang Len goes berserk. The only reason why she's safe is because her legendary mirror purifies evil. However, she can't bear to watch her brother mindlessly kill everyone here. So she gives him the mirror to snap him out of his rage. But in the process, she goes berserk. Now Keelik is forced to fight off the family he made here. Once he manages to escape the carnage, he's stopped by none other than his older sister. Even with the Kali Yuga in his hands, she's too powerful for him. So he locks the fuck in and basically goes Ultra Instinct to fight her off. Once he comes to, the first thing he sees is the staff impaling the heart of Xiang Len. Similar to our boy Siggy, he completely breaks down. This is when Edgemaster finally returns to the plot. He finds Keelik lying unconscious and takes him home after burning the temple to the ground. 2 days later, Keelik wakes up to find that his wounds have been treated. Edgemaster then introduces himself as the advisor of the Lingshan Su temple.
It wasn't people not knowing the GameCube was a flop. I think it was like some kind of idiom that I thought like young people wouldn't get because the like it's just not something relevant anymore.
And how Soul Edge is the reason for all this.
Can't remember
However,
what
in
though.
his current state, he's way too unstable. The ancient mirror is the only thing keeping the evil energy at bay. Separating from either of the Yuga treasures could lead to disaster. With eyes shining with wisdom, he tells the young warrior that he must live as he once did. Keelik then decides to train under him to learn how to control the evil within him and master the Kali Yuga. Meanwhile, in London, another warrior is plotting against Soul Edge, Isabella Valentine, otherwise known as Ivy. Originally an orphan, she was adopted by the Valentines.
You're watching this at work. That's funny.
However, her father grew upset.
On Egoraptor and Sonic. Let me look at both screens real quick. Where are we at on Umineko? We were like early into chapter 3. I'm taking my time with that shit. On Egoraptor and Sonic, yeah, the reputation of those games had been, like, when I was young, I really loved Sonic Adventure 2, but I hadn't spent as much time playing it as I had watching Victor play it, you know, more than once in the effort of continuing to bring things to the Chow Garden. And, like, I remember distinctly some magazine had given it, like, a C+ rating. Like, it was very middlingly rated, and it was mostly just all the glitches, you know, like professional reviewers used to be like pretty hard on a game if it didn't have like at least good programming, like first and foremost, you know, because they're looking at it like a software review as much as an art review. So like to me as a kid, I was like, well, I don't get it. Like, the game is clearly dope compared to most games. You know, like, there's plenty of games that got higher ratings that just didn't look interesting at all. But it's just a matter of, like, yeah, if you're looking at this from, like, I'm a tech, you know, writer who's way too old to be playing Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, you know, like, for the first time, you're gonna hate it. But if you're like a 10-year-old and you're like, this is just like cool music and cool characters and it stays in your mind, and if you get good at it, you realize it's like, it's not a bad game just because it's like not perfectly programmed. It is designed well, you know, where there's plenty of games that are probably perfectly well programmed, but just they're boring. They're just not about anything interesting, you know. And I think we are now culturally more likely to talk about a video game from an artistic perspective than just from a technological perspective. But, you know, Egoraptor was just clowning on, like, what Egoraptor was really having a problem with is what I don't like about Sonic games, but why I enjoy watching people play them, which is an underrated aspect of gaming. And part of, like, the reason there's so much backlash against Egoraptor specifically is that watching him play Sonic is miserable. You understand why he's miserable playing Sonic, because he fucking sucks at it. And it doesn't help that he's not playing it in the natural way that would, you know, he's not playing it focused and concentrated and trying to have fun with the game. He's playing it in a context where he's not fully focused and he's looking to make fun of it. So everything that his lack of focus causes as a problem, he's going to be like, oh, the game should be accounting for my lack of focus, you know. And it really isn't designed that way. It's always been a series that's about mastering it, you know, that's about, like, playing the levels until you get the right rhythm that you can just skate through them and it feels super fucking good. In almost all the games, you can achieve that if you try really hard, you know. So for some people, almost every Sonic game is super fun because they fucking mastered it, and it's really just, like, fun to do that. It's the process of getting there that can be frustrating, and especially when you feel like you make a slightly wrong turn, or you didn't really make a wrong turn and a glitch takes you out, and I understand being frustrated at that, but that's not really what Aaron was dealing with. Aaron was running in the wrong direction and being mad that he ran into a glitch, and it's like, okay, I get that shouldn't happen, but you can avoid that, you know, and you can understand why other people are having fun if they're capable of avoiding that. And so, you know, watching someone who's good at Sonic is fun. You just gotta literally get good. In the same way that, like, if somebody sucks at a Souls game, it's gonna be miserable to watch them play. But you watch someone who can fucking beat it level 1 with a shield, and it's hilarious. It is a lot of fun. I hear a cat trying to get in. What's up, baby? It's cat time. Come here. Cat time. I don't think he wants cat time. He doesn't want cat time. Wants in the room, but not in the lap. Aaron kind of sucks at most games. Yeah, I mean, I don't think... so Game Grumps is kind of interesting in that it really got in right before the, like, Twitch boom. Because they've been around since, like, 2012. And it was one of the earlier examples of, like, gaming YouTubers who are just known... Like, they were known for talking about video games. They were not known for playing video games, John and Aaron. You know, like... And in Aaron's case, he was mostly known for animations about video games that had no indication of his play whatsoever, or even really his opinions of the game. Sequelitis is where it became, oh, he's Mr. Analysis, and that was, like, 2 videos, you know? So, which are, like, as much funny as they are analytical and interesting in that way. So, like, you know, JonTron was more so the, like, kind of analytical reviewer, but he was doing, like, the AVGN style, like, comedy reviews and just going a little bit more in depth with it on, like, a sociological level. but neither one of them was a master gamer. Neither one of them was known for being great at video games. And there wasn't people famous for that yet. But it would only be like a couple years before people were literally getting famous for being good at video games. And like that shifting culture created this atmosphere where like there's almost an expectation that like, well, you guys are professional gamers. Shouldn't you be good? And like, but it's not just gaming. They're podcasters. They are gaming podcasters. You know, like somebody who's legitimately great at video games, you're not expecting to watch them talk at the same time. You're expecting to watch that high level play, you know. They're supposed to be funny. They're supposed to be riffing on the game. So they shouldn't really be playing games that challenge them to that level, that like, you know, that it really requires thought unless they've played the fucking game beforehand and really understand it. But I think they wanted to make people mad with the Sonic videos. I just think they were like, yeah, well, you know, that's a fan base we could safely piss off, and they're going to keep coming back anyways because they cannot help but consume Sonic content. So it won't, like, lose us any money to diss the Sonic fans, you know, like, make them upset. If anything, it's just free engagement. Like, every Sonic playthrough they do gets a shitload of views just because it's Sonic, you know, so inevitably they're gonna do it. Aaron didn't finish Sonic in the Secret Rings because he couldn't get past a cactus. Are you talking about the fucking Wii game? That's like the easiest fucking game in the I remember beating Sonic in the Secret Rings in, if that is the Wii game, I remember beating that in an afternoon, like one continuous sitting. Like, that's so embarrassing if he could not finish that game. It's been a while. Yes, the Wii game. My God. Literally one of the easiest games I can remember playing in my life. Like, a game so easy that I sat back and was like, that was kind of, like, that felt like nothing. Like, it felt like I just breezed through that and nothing really happened. That's so fucking funny. Oh, I should have my phone plugged in so that it doesn't run out of batteries. Surprised I forgot that. I also didn't finish that game, but I was also like 7. Yeah, I think I was like 17 when that game came out. Because from Sonic Adventure 2 onwards, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, I should say, Victor was like a big-time Sonic fan, you know? So basically it went from Sonic Adventure 2 Battle to Sonic Adventure DX, and then I think is it Colors? No, not Colors. What's the one the one with the trios? The one where you are teams of 3. Actually, I think Shadow might have been next after Adventure DX, and then the one with the teams. And somewhere in all that, I think Vic started to be like, I'm not so sure, you know, like, because I know he enjoyed Shadow kind of, but like, you know, it wasn't something he wanted to keep replaying and like get everything. Heroes, yeah, I don't think he ever beat Heroes. I think that was the one where he was just like, I don't know. This is too much for me. Like, this is too different from the core gameplay of Sonic, which I've heard that game is actually pretty good if you gel with it. I think it just was, like, not what he was looking for from Sonic at the time. And then I know he blasted through Secret Rings, enjoyed it, blasted through Colors, all the advanced games. The Sonic Rush on the DS was, like, his favorite, because that one you just go even fast. Like, you go, like, Rush mode, and you're even faster than normal fast. So, yeah, to him it really was always like, get the new Sonic and just blast through it. That is the point. You know, you'll have the memory in your brain of how fast you went forever. Oh, yeah, and 06, of course. 06 was a fucking train wreck, and we had that. We experienced a train wreck. I don't think we beat the game. I don't think anybody made it through. It was just so miserable. And, you know, you had kind of permission tacitly for the fact that it was getting shitted on in all the reviews to, like, quit. But Vic really made an effort. Like, he made it most of the way through that game. I don't think he played Unleashed. Well, maybe he did. I'm not sure. He's pretty dedicated. Vic is the type who will go back to a Sonic game years later and probably play it. So it's possible that he's literally played all of them, like, from the GameCube onwards. But I know that like his favorite ones were like the handheld games where you just go ridiculously fast. Unleash has a fan-made native PC port now. That's so fucking crazy. The Sonic fan base is so extra. There's like so many games, so many great looking games that are just like, you know, Japan only and probably never gonna see the light of day. And they're like, what if we fixed in like a kind of shitty Sonic game and tried to make it better? Squeaky wheel gets the grease. Beat 'em up parts like 80% of the game. It made me so mad. And it sounds right. You know what fucking game I just found out looks amazing and looks like I should have bought it immediately? Like, I get really upset with myself sometimes when I see something and I know I'm gonna like it, and then I'm like, but do I really know? And then I kind of put it off, and then I find out later again. I think it's called Cerveza, Cereza, the Bayonetta prequel, where you play as baby Bayonetta on the Switch. I had seen that in stores. And I don't know what it was, if it's just me trying to come up with an excuse immediately to not pay for a video game, but my brain was like, I haven't heard anything about this, and even though it looks literally amazing, just based on the box art alone, I'm going to pretend I never saw this. You know, every time I would see it in Best Buy, I'd have the same reaction of like, this game's probably great, but I don't know enough about it. And then finally, K-Bash made a video that came out, I think today, that was called like The Game They Rejected or something like that. And like within 2 shots of the game, I was like, this is the most gorgeous thing I've ever fucking seen. It has the coolest art. And then like it immediately occurred to me, Platinum Games is the people who made Once Upon a Time Okami. You know, like they made Okami and like it hadn't occurred to me somehow that like they might make another game that was like an aesthetically next step from that, like that maybe they had an even more colorful, even more pretty, even more like, you know, painterly video game that I just didn't know about. And then I see this game and I'm like, this is the most gorgeous game I've ever fucking seen. And you play as baby Bayonetta. It might be the most like me coded thing it could be, and I feel like I knew all that just when I saw the box art, so I should have bought it right away. Gary sent me 666 to watch Jacob Collier Box of Stars Part 1. Hell the fuck yeah. Jacob Collier makes some really crazy fucking music. Hold on, what was the title of that again? Box of Stars. Oh, this looks crazy. I have very mixed feelings about that, because there were parts where the beat was pretty good. Like it sounded good. It like, cause it's in between being like a kind of a cheesy world song and being like a kind of a cheesy hip hop song, but in like a different way. Where like none of the rapping really impressed me. It was like at best okay. Some of it was kind of ass. Some of it was like pretty okay. I definitely like started in my own head imagining like what rhyme scheme I would use to body that beat that would just sound way harder than anything I heard on there, you know? And like the world song aspects, like at best it made me think, oh, this would sound great in a Little Big Planet level, but I also don't like it as much as like the best songs from that. Not that I loved all the songs from that game or anything, but like mostly it just gave me like, this is like gospel soul music for like white people or like just professors. Like it struck me as, this is, regardless of race, if you're like a professor, like you really are not trying to hear edgy music, this is like perfect for you. Like the perfect amount of musicality without having any kind of edginess whatsoever. You know, like it's like the most sanded down, here is music that sounds good. You know, like it's music that sounds good with no edge at all. No statement to be made other than music sure sounds good, doesn't it? You know, like, really hate my dad says, dude, Jacob Collier bothers me because he has all of the secret keys to music creation. He has the ability to make the most interested songs ever made, but he's making live action Disney music. Thumbs down. I need him making Burzbound, Billy Woods combination. Yeah, I agree. One of the first times I did acid, either the first or second time, Sen Huxtable put me on to one of his videos, which I did think was dank, but I don't love the whole thing. It's like there's parts of it that are fucking awesome, and then parts where I'm like, yeah, all right. Did this need to be 8 minutes long? I'm not going to play that whole thing, but if I can fucking, I don't remember, I don't know how. Well, I guess this was like more than 5 years ago that we watched this, so it has to be at least this old. It was definitely on this album. Oh yeah, With the Love in My Heart. That's the one. I don't want the live though. I want the music video version if I can find it. Here we go. Oh wait, nope, the video is right next to it. There we go. Like, this shit's crazy. And then you just get this part, you're like, wait a minute. That sounds fucking crazy. That sounds like nothing I've ever heard. Can the whole song be that? It's so fucking dirty. And then listen to how it transitions out of this. Wait, not yet. It's still good right now. Although it is still weirdly like, I don't know. Why does it sound like gospel music though? Fat fucking bass line though. Alright, so that was sick. Then it just turns into a totally different song. And the last couple minutes are really boring, but that part is fucking sick. Why couldn't the whole song just be that, like, 2 minutes of fat fucking bass? He's a music school cat and it shows. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. He's the type of dude they bring to the music school to perform in front of the music students to show them how much they suck. He's the guy they bring in to go like, here's what you'll never be. And then have him do like a 17 instrument fucking, pick up a 12-string bass, play something they've never heard before, and then digitally manipulate it live. You know, play some crazy shit. I don't think I have another request right now. I kind of have to pee again. I'm going to play a song. I'm going to play some Cleo Reed. Because I'm pretty sure she still has my favorite album of the year. Always the Horse, Never the Jockey is like probably the best song. It's just stupefyingly good. So we'll play that. Oh, I just got $5 to listen to Real Good by Lil Ugly Mane. I'll do that when I get back. I gotta pee though. You gotta listen to Cleo Reed. This is my GOAT right now for this year. GOAT Goy.
I woke up in spite of fear. I didn't ask to be here. I woke up in spite of fear. I didn't ask to be here. Trouble taking this one slow. Set my speed, it's time to go. Will I win the race? I glide on the asphalt. My hooves are worn down. Can you blame me for resisting? Can you blame me for resisting? Can you blame me for resisting? I'm shaking my tail. I'm here till the show's off. I'm a show off. I'm the prettiest horse in your side, so why don't you let me get up and ride? Will I win the race? I glide on the asphalt. I wanna touch grass, grass, grass. Can you blame me for resisting? Can you blame me for resisting? Can you blame me for resisting? Let us remember. Let us remember what we're asking for. No need to perform. Let us remember what we're asking for. No need to perform. Who's keeping score? Let us remember.
I remember.
Labels taking your money. The reason that my people say they tired of rap. Labels taking your money. The reason that my people say they tired of rap. Labels taking your money. The reason that my people say they tired of rap. Labels taking your money. The reason that my people say they tired of rap.
Sounds like straight fucking Wu-Tang. Ooh, I love that fucking whatever that instrument is. I guess a guitar? Yeah, this fucks. I've never fucking even heard this. Where would I find this? What even the fuck album is this? Doing badass improvisational stuff rag for piano? This shit's fucking good. I missed the best line? Alright, hold up. Okay, I'll never listen to this song again for the rest of my life. Nothing in my pockets except that Homer Simpson catchphrase is a pretty fucking crazy line. Suck some dick, does it real good. Keep up, motherfucker, keep up. 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 Yeah, that fucks. Also, this, I feel like there's an era that was not discussed enough here. Like, when, like, Raider Clan and Lil Ugly Mane came out, it was all about, like, very deliberately combining, like, the aesthetics of specific regional hip-hop styles into something new. Like, particularly like Denzel Curry's 32 Zell Planet Shrooms album, like especially the Planet Shrooms half that like nobody likes. I loved that half of that album just because it is like every song is conceptually like, well, what if we took C-Punk and combined it with funk, you know, the Outkast style funk, and like made C-Funk. And like every song is very obviously to me approached from that mentality of like, I'm going to take these two genres, like a modern internet genre and a classic hip-hop genre, and combine them. Like, this felt like I'm taking 90s Wu-Tang and 90s 3-6 Mafia and combining them into something that sounds like it feasibly could have come out in the 90s, but it actually didn't, because nobody was influenced by both of those things and making music that sounded like both of those things back then in the way that they were in the 2010s. And I really feel like the 2010s was like by the time we got to hyperpop, it's at a point where like young people just grow up having heard all of fucking music history at once, and it's all just bopping around in their head, and so everything is a clusterfuck now. Like everything's a genre clusterfuck. That's a good thing. That's what I wanted. But I do kind of feel like a little nostalgic for when it was still seen as special, that there were all these genres and you could deliberately take one here and put them together and be like, look, I made something that sounds like two different things that existed at the same time, even though there was nothing that sounded like both of those things at once before, if that makes sense. Do you know Ren? I don't think so. Unless you mean, isn't there like an MC Ren in fucking NWA? If so, then yes, I know of him. How y'all feeling? I'm only seeing Really Hate My Dad and Gary Always left in chat, so I don't know if everyone else has passed out, if the hip-hop talk is taking it out of you. We've been going about 2 hours, so I could see wrapping this up now. I feel like I'm being loud and it's late, and I could do something else, but I've had a good time. This was mostly about seeing what it would be like to stream on 2 different places at the same time. I'm here cooking, so I'm listening, says Nisa. What are you cooking? Whoa, it's your true fans. For real, for real. See Cypher's drawing. True. People do usually be doing stuff while the stream's going on. I don't blame you for not being in chat. I gotta find more stuff to put on if I want to keep everybody busy, though. But yeah, I don't want to go like all night, because I do want to figure out what my next full video is gonna be. I had recorded fucking my next Nova Loves Music video. I recorded it in my bedroom, and like the video quality is kind of ass, which was fine. It was true of the first one as well. But it was also like the audio was doing that like low fucking hiss noise the whole time. I think I might have also had like an AC on that I didn't think would be picked up as badly as it was, because I had done like a test audio and didn't really hear it that much. But it's like evident enough that it's too annoying for me to listen to for like 40 straight minutes and think about it. And I'm going to see if like Sarah Louise can noise reduce it. I haven't sent it to her to try that yet, but like it was like 40 minutes of me ranting about how great Jordy Greep's live performances are, that I thought I was just gonna like quickly edit and get out the next day, and that it wasn't gonna be like a whole fucking production, you know. But as soon as I have a tendency, if I hit a wall with something, I'm just like, I don't want to touch this for a little bit, you know. I'll come back to this if I still think it's good enough to be like worth pushing through these you know, these hiccups, but I can't just like keep going. Can't wait for the next Nova video. Honestly love the music content, says Nisa, and I do too. I have a few like ideas, like a few that will probably happen. It was just really disappointing to realize the audio wasn't that good on the second one I had made. But I think there will possibly be a video specifically about how great like dance music is this year, and especially dance hop. I'm still undecided if I'm going to talk about like music that is not independent like at all. You know, although I haven't really looked into like what, I mean, Jordy Greep's live shows are not like something that's like released through a label, you know, but I haven't really looked into how his actual album was released that in that sense. Gigadonk is firing up Link's Awakening, having just collected Josh Burt. Good. Link's Awakening's pretty alright. That's even more so than the Water Temple in Zelda. The biggest problem with Link's Awakening is having to fucking opening the item switching all the time. Like, there's a lot of item switching back and forth in that game. And I can't remember if the remake fixed that. I feel like it must have at least made it not nearly as bad. But the remake also has such a weird aesthetic that it just feels like a totally different game. Because it feels like it takes place inside of like a playset. Like a little wooden playset. Really hate my dad said, stream with me again soon the second you left. I'm back to 0 viewer, homeless bum, begging people for views. I'm on stream just yelling, please keep watching, please, for like 45 minutes at a time. We dead ass got a noise complaint. You need to promote the stream beforehand. It's the only way. The only way you're going to get people to show up is you have to. So this is the specific advice I've been giving people, and it's always worked for me, and it's worked for everybody I've told it to. Specifically when it comes to streams, you need a square image. You need a square image, 900 by 900 pixels, 1400 by 1400, whatever, a square. And it's got to have some kind of image in it, but mostly text that tells you specifically where it's going to be and when and what it is. And you have to make it look like it's an event that people need to be at, right? It's like the most successful streams I've seen following this example recently. In my Discord server, Z-Cypher did watch parties for Infinity Train. And, you know, put together images that had, like, the picture of the season. It says the date and time. And there was, like, really good turnout. And there was even rerun streams. You know, in the rerun streams, they would have, like, the word rerun plastered on it. And then, you know, the fucking new time. Krona and I have been doing the Ocarina of Time streams. Each one of those, I've had like a unique bespoke image. You know, I changed the layout a little bit so that people can tell it's new. It's not the same image they saw before, but indeed a new ad. Because if you just update the time, but everything else about the image looks the same, they're not immediately going to clock that it's a new image. So you got to make a new image for every stream, make sure it looks new enough, and release that at least a few hours ahead of time, preferably at least a day ahead of time. If you could get your ads out at least a day ahead. When's the next Slime Dolls Ocarina of Time? I'm not sure. Gigadonk has a guest over, so basically as soon as her guest is gone, the next day we'll probably do it. But it will be the last one. We're already at the end of the game, so after that we'll probably go right into Majora's Mask for whenever we do our next stream. You be down to finish any night your friend just left? Oh, well then we'll do it tomorrow probably. Yeah, that sounds right. Although I might be going out with Bird to suit shop. Well, that might be early in the day. I don't know. Probably we could do it tomorrow, maybe. If not, the next day. For sure, within the next few days, it'll be done. But again, everybody will know because I'm going to make images. I'm going to make images that tell you the exact date and time. Those images will be posted on Blue Sky. They'll be posted in my Discord server. They'll be posted in my YouTube posts, community posts. You will definitely see these images if you are even a little bit tapped into what I'm doing. They'll be retweeted by friends of mine who I told you need to go retweet this. It will be, you know, that's how you get people to pay attention to a live stream. And you have to do it for every single stream until you are either famous or you're just doing something that is like naturally attention grabbing. And even that requires, you know, you have to get it in front of people in the first place. But like, you know, one of my favorite streamers, Abso-fucking-lutely, was talking about how, like, in the last 4 days that Drake asked for, asked to see information about Kendrick Lamar's children in the court case he has against UMG, like, the traffic to her stream, she said, I've done a month worth of traffic in 4 days because of just what the news is. You know, like, what the news being as exciting as it is, you know, just means that if you're talking about really exciting news, like, everybody knows she's the source for Drake. And, like, if you're going to talk about the Drake case, you're going to come to her. But on the average day, the Drake case isn't interesting. Nothing new is happening. So in a day where something interesting and new is happening, it's suddenly a huge spike. You know, if you're a gaming streamer, you stream on days the Nintendo Direct is happening. You stream on days the you know, E3 announcements are happening. If you're or Game Awards or whatever, you know, if you're an anime YouTuber, you stream on the day the anime awards are happening. If you are a you know, so like, you just gotta tack onto things that people already care about, you know. In this case of this stream, I didn't have to signal boost it very far because people have already been waiting on me to stream anyways. Like, people have been waiting for me to do a request stream. So I already knew there was a guaranteed audience of people who are lying in wait. I made sure there were people available. Like, I went into my Discord, I put out feelers, made sure that there was people who were awake. Z-Cypher was like, I'm bored right now and need something to do. I was like, perfect. The stream's coming right up, you know. I knew, like, I basically knew the state of the people who are in chat. And then you found my stream because YouTube threw it in my shorts. And that was me putting out the extra ad. Like, so, you know, I promoted the Twitch version in my Discord and on Blue Sky. But then, you know, the YouTube itself is also an ad for the Twitch. So basically, you know, what I'm trying to say is I really go out of my way. Like, this stream, even this stream that didn't have that much pre-preparation, it did not have an image advertising it, there was still an amount of forethought before I went live to, like, ensure there would be an audience, ensure I was going to make some money, because, like, this one was specifically about it's a request stream. So, like, the two goals I had here were, one, to test out this specific camera setup, make sure I can actually stream on both channels, find out how badly the copyright will be affected with this setup on both channels, and also make some money tonight. So, like, all of that was part of the goal, and I made sure all of that would be possible, you know, before I started it. So, yeah, it just takes an amount of seriousness that's never going to come through in the product. Like, I'm describing it now, but, like, every stream I do, the reality of it is, like, hours of build-up, you know, hours and hours of me, like, standing around thinking about what the stream is going to be, whether it is even a good idea. Like, a lot of the time I just decide not to. I spend a lot of the day thinking I'm going to stream. You can ask Gigadog how many times I've said I'm going to stream today and then nothing has happened, you know. It's plenty of times. So, like, it has to be, like, the vibes are exactly right before I will actually do it. You know, I gotta go to sleep. Thank you for the advice. For real, I'll become very good at marketing now. I have a direction. Good. I'm also, I think if I can, I would like to raid Kiki. She's listening to Flo Millie. And I can just send you all over there, I think. She might have to, like, enable that from me or something. I don't really know how raids work. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see any button that says, like, raid there or whatever. Anybody know how to raid? At a glance. Raid. Raid settings. No, I'm not worried about how I get raided. I'm worried about how I raid someone else. Is it just /raid? Okay, I see. Thank you. Okay, so if I just put the channel name in where it says channel, I'm guessing that'll do it. Let's see if it works. No, it says invalid username. Is it because I got the punctuation or the capitalization wrong? Do I have to get the exact? I wrote rain just now. No, it didn't give it to me even with the capitalization fixed. What am I doing wrong? It says, I'm not spelling the name wrong. Oh, maybe it's not supposed to have the brackets around it. There we go. I think that worked. Okay, well, I'm going to stop my stream now.